tonight's going to be pretty much a training call to help you guys increase the number of exposures for people, to share the Juice Plus business as well as Juice Plus products to people. So with this, as I shared, I went to the Beyond Success event with about 100 people, and there were people from all different companies there. And so basically together, we created a list of ways to increase exposures with your team. So it's kind of interesting that the very first one is to create opportunities to volunteer in your community, right? So maybe there are things that you could do, such as a beach cleanup or a hurricane cleanup right now. So anything to do to show that sense of community is a great thing to do. So think for yourself, what are different ways that you can volunteer in your community? Maybe you can do a tower garden at a Boys and Girls Club. Maybe you can go into a school and teach them salad in a jar parties, or maybe you can do something like teach them about grazing trays. That's what I like to do. So how many of you guys have some ideas of ways that you can volunteer within your community? Anybody doing anything to volunteer within their community? I'd encourage you to take some notes on this, because that'll grow that sense of mission for people. I know that all of us were pretty much inspired by the mission of Juice Plus. So what are some great ways for you to do volunteer opportunities? The other one is during opportunity meetings, maybe have sign-up forms or flyers of different events. Like if there's any, like ways that you guys give back for school supplies or gift drives, holiday gift drives, like making sure to, I know for my daughter's school, I like to make a gift basket for an auction item, or, anytime that there's another event that's taking place, to make a gift basket with Juice Plus supplies in it. Obviously making sure that we're doing weekly opportunity meetings in person at 3 different times. I shared this with you guys. Then, do a weeknight, do a weekday, do a weekend. One of the girls, when she was starting her business, we were trying to get going, and people said, oh, I can't do it after, we said, we're doing an event right after drop off. And people go, oh, I can't do after drop off. And we're like, don't worry, we're doing one at lunchtime. And they're like, oh, I can't do one at lunchtime. And I said, don't worry, we're doing one at night. And they go, oh, I can't do the night either. And I go, don't worry, we're doing one over the weekend. So you really want to really load up on the number of presentations, the number of business opportunity meetings that you're doing. Obviously, Zoom opportunity meetings, making sure that you're doing one on a weekend, on a weekday, Facebook Lives, Zoom opportunity meetings we love. Ways doing expos, home shows. Look at, a lot of us know about Stephen Ritz. I don't know if you guys know about Rich Downing was actually at a home show, and he had a tower garden, and that's where he met Stephen Ritz. And Stephen Ritz, as you guys know, is a huge part of our business with regards to sharing about the tower gardens. So maybe start to show up more at some of these home shows and bring your tower garden to the home show, or, some kind of gardening event, or just some kind of make sure that you're bringing it maybe to a farmer's market. So lots of different ways. Lunch and learns are a great way related to your business as well. I love doing lunch and learns. Those of you that are in the Las Vegas area, I'm going to be doing one in October, November, and December. Just to be, an opportunity just to get people together, whether it's to make salad in the jars, or if it's just to get together and teach some kind of personal development skill to really help people with. Some other ways that you can do things, maybe provide babysitting or child activities during a meeting. Maybe provide snacks at an event. Doing the 20 in 30 promotions that means the Eric Worre recruiting 20 people in 30 days, which we're actually going to be, and we really want to focus on doing right now. I'll post the link to be able to do that. Maybe with regards to collaborating with others that aren't in our business. So maybe there's a speaker that you can bring on to just add value to the call. Obviously, a quick video testimonial about, why this makes so much sense to you. Maybe there's a weekly book club. Invite friends, maybe you do a book club and then it's something about nutrition or something else, but something just to add value. What would be some other ways for you to add value to people, and ways to expose get more exposures in your team, what would you guys share some of the things that you're doing? I know that in New York, Joss and Callie and Danielle and Sylvia, they're doing at Joss and Danielle's apartment every Thursday night, they're doing a yoga event, right? And it grew from like 5 people now to how many people are there now just in the last couple months? Callie? You probably have.
We have like 20 to 40.
20 to 40 people. So that's just over a couple months. How many of us could arrange a yoga on the lawn somewhere? I mean, Wendy, we have yoga now that there's yoga. It's just a free event and you can just add your own twist on it with regards to it. So just adding value. And then afterwards they'll serve smoothies and, and then they'll sit around. It's very casual and let people talk about, their testimonials, and they'll have people share with regards to the business. So different ways that you can do it. What are some other ways that you can increase your exposures for people? Who wants to share some ways that you can to increase your exposures? Anyone? Another great thing is to just offer yourself as an incentive. So like for me, I'm going to, get people to earn their time with you. So is it a coaching call that you offer once that they get to the VF position, or they get to sales coordinator, or get to senior sales coordinator? So lots of different incentives are always a great way to go. So I love real quick, if we really want in contests, I love contests. I love to, offer cash bonuses to people. I mean, that's really, right now I still have it that anybody that becomes a national marketing director, either by Indianapolis or by Phoenix, they're going to get $1,000 cash from me on top of getting the bonuses. They'll get the $3,000 for going national marketing director from the company. And also when you're club levels, you get a bonus on top of that. So cash is always a good thing. It was interesting. I put that post in there about what would you guys do if an extra $10,000 came into your account, and it was great. We got a lot of response with regards to this. So that means that, that's a great way because you can be able to do more with regards to it. So let's talk really, again, I also want to talk about something called the Triad. And the Triad is, what do you need to do to create a raving fan? And we talked a little bit about this in the morning, but I'm going to put this up. I'll put it up for you guys in the group. But our goal is to create customers that are raving fans, not just customers that are raving fans, but also to make sure that our distributors are raving fans, that they look and they're like, wow, this is the only place to be. So what do you need to do in order to really create raving fans? You have to know what they really want and need, and they desire, and their values and their beliefs and their rules and their fears. So what that means is you have to take it when a lot of people go, oh, I'm nervous to talk to somebody. This person's on my chicken list. This is how you're able to dive deep in. You've got to understand, what do they really want? What do they desire? What do they fear? And what has to happen in order to make it happen? So let's play for a second. Who wants to play? Let's find out, what do they really want? So Suzanne, let's play with you for a second. So if I were to talk to Suzanne right now, Suzanne, I know you just got back from being with your husband in Washington, D.C. How was that to just be able to take that time and be with your husband and not have to worry about work?
It was really fulfilling, actually, in so many ways, just to be able to be us and not be talking about kids or the offices or anything else. We'd actually play games with each other about like catching each other about to talk about it and then just like divert to something else. So it was incredible. To have.
So what do you believe about being able to retire from dentistry and be able to own your life and be able to do that any time that you want? What do you believe about that?
I believe I believe that when I'm focused on everyone else in my life, I tend to lose myself and I lose my sense of humor. I don't have as much fun. I tend to be like kind of a robot. And it's like a version of myself, even though I feel like I'm serving, I really am not serving anyone. And so what I've realized is that I really need to kind of move in the path of kind of more balance. And, having the time freedom with this business is something that will allow me to then, like when you're talking about yoga on the lawn, I'm like, gosh, I would love to do that. Like I would have my hand up all the time for all these different events. So that just shows me that I need to be the one putting them on, and instead of wishing that they were being put on in my area. And
Right.
so, yeah, so that's a big aha moment. And I think that, the more that we do that is fun and kind of childlike. I mean, there's so many moments that I can think of. And one was at your Lobella event. It's like, there's so many things that I was able to experience for the first time, whether it was an activity or a conversation. And it brought me back to who I was truly in my essence as a young girl. And that's the truth for all of us. That's the truth for all of us. And we just need to get back to that. And being responsible for everything and everyone all the time is very adult-like, but I think it tends to break us in some.
So do you see yourself still doing dentistry 10 years from now?
Not, okay, so yeah, the answer is yes, but I see myself serving in a capacity where I'm doing dentistry, for instance, at local clinics or local.
Right, because you want to do it, not because you have to do it.
Thank you.
Right? So what is your fear about jumping in full on and being able to do that right now? What would you need to do? What would you need to believe so that you could grow this business and have that time freedom?
Yeah, I would need to give up my I have certain I have some beliefs, but I still have a little bit of doubt, and that 1% of doubt or less, I think, poisons, like Kira said on her call last week, it poisons the 99%. And so I think what it is for me is that maybe in my head, it's like, okay, I would love to have a salad in a jar party, but is my house clean enough? Is it going to look right? Is it going to be perfect? Am I going to invite the right people? Are they going to want to show up? What if they don't? Am I going to be hurt? All these things that kind of, mess with your head, and it sounds silly when it's in your head.
Versus what you just said on the call about conference. What did you say? Did you learn from a mentor?
Just say yes and figure out how.
Right? Just say yes to that salad in the jar party and not worry, right? Just say yes, tell the world and figure it out, right? Maybe you don't do it at your house. Maybe you find a cute little place down the street that will let you, or maybe you do it in the park. Maybe, if you don't want to do it at the house, maybe you say, we're going to have a salad in the jar party at the park, right? Yeah. Would that be fun to have a salad in the jar party at the park? Probably. You'll probably get more customers and more distributors just being at the park, because people are wondering what the hell that you're doing over there, right? So my job is to find out what she wants, right? And to give it to her, right? To be able to give her that where that really meets her needs, and that she gets addicted to this new feeling of giving pleasure. So did I just give you a way to be able to do a salad in a jar party?
Yeah.
Definitely. Did I give you a way to do a yoga in the park party?
Yeah. And
not have to worry about being that. And then so let's just what do we want to do? We want to make sure to schedule that, right? That she gets addicted to. After that, she's just a raving fan. But trust me, it was a little hard that first week with Sylvia and Callie and myself and Danielle. And there was 5 of us in LA, and there were 5 of us there. We're like, oh my gosh, is this going to work? Right? But it's that consistency. It's that momentum that we talk about that causes us to do that. How many of you are, once you start getting in momentum, you're like, oh my God, this is actually fun, right? So it's important to be able to do that. And then also that what happens is when you start doing those things consistently, people go, wow, oh my gosh, if Suzanne's doing it, then I need to do it as well, right? Like what you just said, Danielle and Callie and those guys are doing those yoga events. It doesn't cost any money. People can just show up. Wendy could easily do it here, right? And to be able to do that. So just to have those events, and then people go, oh, I could do that. I could get 4 or 5 people together at the park, but they need to see you doing it, right? Because if they don't see you doing it, then they're not going to have the courage to be able to do that, right? So you have any questions about that?
No, it sounds fun, and it sounds like something, it really is something that I used to do. And what's interesting is when I had little kids, we were at the park all the time. When I had little kids, I was volunteering in their classes all the time and doing like the demos of how to brush Danny the dinosaur's teeth and, all of that. I was saying yes, yes, yes. Why? Because I had little kids. Well, what about me? What if I'm the reason why I'm saying yes, instead of having another person?
So when are you going to go into the school? Let's get your calendar out, right?
Exactly.
Right. The biggest thing is your calendar. Remember, your boss. Here's what I will share with you. We're going to keep this call nice and short. I just want to go over everybody to post. And the person that posts the most things, I'll be giving away I'll be giving away one of Darren Hardy's books, as well as I'm going to be giving away 2 Daring Great books. And here's the thing. I want you to post many ways that you're going to add exposure in your team, and also how many events that you're going to do, right? Really going out there and really, because the truth is your boss is your calendar, right? If your calendar is empty, then your business isn't going to grow. If you look and you talk to people the businesses grow the most, it's the people whose calendars are full with events, right? Whether it's a call, whether it's a salad in a jar party, whether it's doing yoga outside and just getting people together, the goal is to do as many events as you can. That's how you're going to get the more exposures. Those of you, I'm going up to Ashland this weekend to do a boot camp up there. Cheryl's going to be up in Canada doing an event. You want to check out all the events that are taking place and plug people into it. Not just you go by yourself, but also make sure that you're plugging people into it. So does anybody have any questions so far? Anybody want to share anything about this? I mean, Nicole, would be a great opportunity, as if it were me and I was down there in Florida, I would really figure out what's a contribution project that you can get people together for. So yes, the contest is post in there many ways that you can add exposure to your team, and then also post your calendar of how many events that you will be doing from now until the end of the month, and we'll be giving prizes away for that. But Nicole, for you, could you get a group of people together and just do a contribution project, of cleaning it up there in the Sarasota area? And then after that, bring everybody back to your house and maybe have smoothies, or maybe make a salad in a jar party. What are the different things that you can do? Anybody have any questions so far? This is really about events. This call is about what can we do to create more exposures. Anybody have anything that they would like to share? Anyone?
I think no matter what, for instance, like, I'm not necessarily, I'm not great at yoga, but like, I'm attracted to doing that. Like, I've seen a lot of posts by Wendy and by you about doing yoga. And I thought, gosh, even my parents who are 73 do yoga. So I have this, like, I'm drawn to it, that I want to do it. But I think for any of us on this call that can't necessarily connect with yoga, maybe it's something else. Maybe there's, maybe you're a tennis player, or maybe at one time in your life you did gymnastics. Well, what if maybe if you checked out a tumbling class or something like that, and you invited a few friends, to come with you and turned it into an event. I mean, there are a lot of businesses. That's the thing, is I think a community event, especially for Nicole in her area, but wherever you are, a community event could be someone's business. It's like going to their business and saying, listen, are there times where you're not so busy, when you're not as busy as other times? And maybe you can go into their business and kind of, work with them during those times.
Absolutely. I'm trying to, by accident called somebody. Oh, go away. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying by accident called somebody. Awesome. Anybody else have anything that they want to share so far? So I really want us to get into massive action, right? I really want us to make sure that we're getting in. If you listen, your homework would be what we did was really listening to that Jim Rohn, Building Your Network Marketing Business Every Day, and then really look at, grab your calendar. We've posted it so many times. If you're looking for new nuggets, there are no more new nuggets. The nuggets are, what are the 3 or 4 things that you're going to do consistently? Are you going to grab your calendar? You're going to grab your 30-day calendar, see where, I could show you mine here, but I don't think you need to see it. But, my 30-day calendar here, and I look and I've got all of those events, everything that's planned. Here are all the people that I'm speaking with each day. Really grab out that calendar and what events that you're planning on doing. What calls are you committed to doing? Are you doing a starting strong call? I'm going to go back to, I'm going to have a big gift for you guys. I think that you guys will see I'm investing a lot to create something that I think will help all of you guys really create some massive momentum, especially with regards to getting interest in Juice Plus. So you'll be finding out about that next week. But until then, and only people that are VFs and above will be able to participate in that. So you definitely want to get your team to VF in order to be able to participate in that. But really think about here's what I want you to look at. I want you to look at what's your short-term vision and what's your long-term vision. What are those exposures that you can do? Really set out that 30-day calendar, right? And what are you doing to make sure that the non-negotiables of people, of making sure to start those people strong, get them to VF and get them to SC. So that's kind of what I wanted to share, was everything about exposures, was understanding your triad. What's your physiology like every day? You want to be the kind of person that people go, I want some of that, right? And so what's your physiology like? Do people look, do you stand upright? Are you excited? Are you charged up? Are you on purpose? Are you on mission, right? What are you focusing on? You're focusing on that this could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. Are you going to make this your number one priority in your head, that you work around your Juice Plus events, right? You work around conference. That's another thing. We really need you guys, if those of you that are coming to conference, we need you to make sure to sign up for the meal program that we've put together for you, and that includes the gimmies and everything else. So, what are you doing to make sure to make this a priority, and what are the activities that you've got going on? So, anybody have any questions before we jump off? Because it's almost 7 o'clock. Anyone want to share? Yes. We're going to be adding some more business opportunity calls in here. I'll be letting you guys know about that. And we'll be posting that on Facebook. But make sure to listen to Kira's call if you haven't listened to that. And make sure you're actually doing the do. Are you doing above average activity? Average activity is just, making this when you have time or in your spare time. I promise you, if you put your goggles on, like I do, I keep my goggles right here. I put it on my head just like this, and I go to work. When I sit at my desk, I sit here and I'm like, time to focus. That's my reminders. I carry it everywhere around the world with me. I've got some in my bags. It's a great reminder. It's time for me to get laser focused and to really go to work. I promise you, if you focused on this for 2 hours a day, you would build a huge organization if you just focused on it 2 hours a day, talking to people, following up with people, really planning those events, doing an event every single day. Your business will grow like crazy. So anybody have any questions or comments? Anyone?
I have an idea for another, like a business opportunity type of a call or event, but I will run it by you first, and then we can, if it's good.
No, you guys, I want you guys to take the lead. This is your time for you guys to be setting up those business opportunity meetings for yourself. If you look mostly, I want to make sure that you guys, my job is for you to shine, not just for me to just be sharing information with you. I'll be a resource for you if you want to have me on a call, but I'd love for you guys to really be hosting your own calls, like pulling together the way the Entrepreneur call has been running. Manon, thank you for really owning that call. And, and there've been great ideas of adding value every week. I think that was a great suggestion from Mary Beth about adding more, but it's really your opportunity for you guys to step and lead your calls versus me being the person. I want to make sure that I'm there as a resource for you, but we want to make sure that you guys are doing your own starting strong calls for your teams and having you shine, because that's what people look, they go, am I going to have the opportunity to do that? So does that make sense for you, for all of you? Yep. Cool. Yes. All right. Well, good night. And I hope to see some great results. We have a new fast track VF on Leia's team. So big congratulations to her. And hopefully we'll have some new fast track sales coordinators here over the next couple days as well. So looking forward to it. Make sure you post everything. Bye, guys.